Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for part 2 of our InDesign instruction. The first thing we did was bring in some of our image files from Photoshop. We discussed using a multiple layout canvas. And we also discussed how it can get you into trouble if your size and proportion are incorrect. Now that we have changed things around, I'm clicking on my shapes. Now that we have created what we are considering a very nice menu of shapes and colors, we need to think about typography. I'm going to lock that layer. I'm going to create a new type layer. Now, with type, do not forget about the titles, headings, and descriptions hierarchy. We've spoken about this. So what I like to do is design in that format. I know I have my main dish, starter, and dessert. So I might just type, and I think I'm going to use my caps lock on and type, let's see, starters. Let's just keep it as starter. All right, you're going to get Minion Pro as a default. We're going to click and scale that so we can see it a little more. You can do that, or you can just click and go right to 72 so you can see it and deselect, and there you have a beautiful black. Blah. Guys, do not, please, do not use serif fonts in design. 99% of the time, a serif font is not appropriate. The tails that appear in serif fonts can be hard to read in a layout. Serif fonts are best saved for editorial work, worksheets, English class. We are designers. We have the ability to turn type into art. Look at the options. You have millions of selections to choose from. One of my favorite go-tos if I'm trying to stay current, modern, and contemporary, which we will for this project, is Avner. Very clean, very modern, very tasteful font. There it is. All caps. It is a title. It is black at the moment. We might change that. We don't need to worry about it when we start. But I tell you what we do need to worry about is where it goes and if it stays a title. So, title 1. Why don't I lock that layer, unlock my shape, move it out of the way for a second because I individualize that and can. I need you to think. I can't ask you questions because we're in a video. But I can tell you that you should not have your titles, headings, descriptions, prices, and any other additional information all in one text box. You need to create levels, hierarchy. You could even say, I'm going to save this layer for titles, and I'm going to make a new layer. And on that new layer, I'm going to label it headings. Here, I want to draw another box. And don't forget, guys, the shape does not matter to start. It's going to start you off with Minion Pro at 12 point, a default. Our starter is an egg. I'm not sure. It's yellow. Let's call it. Do we need caps lock? Maybe not. It is a heading. We are breaking down the hierarchy. Maybe we just do title caps and we call it the yellow circle plate. We increase it till we see what we have done. And then we have a serif font that looks like we are in English class. We also have a non-capitalized letter. You can see how it's telling me everything else is. So now we have a heading menu piece called the yellow circle plate, done in a serif font. Now, is it important to have consistency? Yes, it is. We will triple that and get that selected. The easy choice would be go to Avner and create a heading below your title. It should be smaller. It should not be as bold because we need to create hierarchy. There is our title and our heading. The last thing we might want to include is a short description of what the dish is. So we need a subheading or a descriptor. Now, we can do this, Command copy, Command paste, and start with our text already at Avner in title caps and ready to go. Type tool, triple click or select from back to front. And the yellow circle plate is what? It is a wonderful dish of egg yolks. Yeah, I know, gross. Now, do we think this makes sense? Starter title, the yellow circle plate as a header, and our description at the same size? Or do these now have the same hierarchy and basically say the same thing? I'm going to say they do, and we need to change that because we're having 3 levels of hierarchy. So we are going to change this from 28 point to 18 point, or 20, or 16. It is what is appropriate, guys. And now we have a 3rd level of typography. I did not choose to put that on another layer, so I'm not happy with myself. So I'm going to move it. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to add a layer. And I'm going to paste it on that layer. And you'll know that it's different because it's blue. And we did not turn off layer 5, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to delete it. But now look, I have my descriptor layer, I have my heading menu, and I have my starter menu. I have 3 layers distinctly showing what I need. I'm going to unlock them because I want to edit them. Everything is justified to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, please see the 8 squares in the center of the InDesign menu. And please realize that they are for alignment options. Align left, align center, align right, align towards spine, if it was a book. Justify with the last line aligned. So there's a lot of options here. Justify with the last line centered. Justify all lines. So justification means you're pushing the text boundaries to the edge of your bounding box. We want to create organization. We want to create a system, a rhythm of things that work in order. Now let's hide and get all this stuff out of our way. We are also going to hide our frame edges. Now we can see hierarchy. All of a sudden, it just got a little out of whack, if you ask me. We are justified here. We are. But I don't like this curvature of unjustification. So, how do we fix that? Do we click on this shape? Do we use the select type tool and try center? No, that doesn't help. That's a different justification. Do we align it to the far right? No. We're trying to stay with the left justification, but I'm going to bring a guide over to show you. Watch this. I want everything to stop at that edge. We're a little short. There's a neat little tool over in our character menu that I'm going to bring out and show you. The tracking option. In thousands of an EM, it says. I don't even know what that is. We can track this font. Tracking moves every single letter in the sentence or word evenly. It doesn't just space out the words, it spaces out the individual letters. So watch what happens as it grows and moves across the page. That's too far. Let's bring it back until it is where the R is, which is right there. And now we are in line. Let's move down to is wonderful dish of egg yolks. Let's justify that to that edge. Deselect. Let's hide our frame edges again. Guides and grids, hide. They are all hidden. Why am I seeing them? Let's turn off. Oh, that's a guide. So I'm going to get rid of it. You can't get rid of the guides. You can hide guides. But look, now we have uniform justification. Now, starter title, heading, and description. You might want to click and get them closer. Bring this up. There's one piece of information missing, and it is the price of our dish. What do you think we want to do here? Well, we have some options. We can say it is a $19.99 dish, which is never attractive in a restaurant. You might just write this. 19 dot, which shows that that is $19 in a very fancy way. But it just ruined our justification. So maybe what we need to do is reselect that and unjustify it. Bring it back in line. There you go. My concern with doing this is it reads, is a wonderful dish of egg yolks 19. So we did not create great hierarchy with that in mind. So maybe it's okay to not have this justified with the rest of our structure. I'm going to track that back out. I'm going to deselect that and look at it as an individual. We have a couple options. I don't want to type on this because it could get a little clunky. And don't forget, if we go to our layers, we have a description, a heading, and a title. Do you think maybe we should do a new layer and call it prices? Now, what you can do is copy paste. So we're in the same size. And we said we'd call it $19. So how about we put a dash 19 dot. You can't do the dot before the 19, then it's 19 cents. It's a $19 dish. We don't have to put the dollar sign. Most people know on a menu, numbers mean money, because numbers don't have anything to do with food unless you're talking about nutritional facts. So this is a free-floating object at the moment. We don't necessarily know the hierarchy we want. We could put it there. We could put it there, as long as we're following a 1/4 inch margin, a 1/4 inch from here. We could also put it underneath and have 4 layers of hierarchy. That works. That works. We do not need to create a third, smaller font because it is different. It is a numeric description. It is okay. There is some subjective nature in this process. All I know is I want starter to be right on the margin. So I'm going to bring that up. The yellow circle plate, this needs to be close to me, or it, sorry, to make sense. So starters, or starter, The yellow circle plate is a wonderful dish of egg yolks at $19. Now you might want to put that dish, unlock that layer closer so you can see it. I will let you decide. This is about you and where you place your things, but that is about how you create hierarchy. Now, lock your layers. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You will copy and paste your items. Shift, shift, shift. Select them all. Now you don't want to copy and paste because it's going to put them all on the active layer. You need to select them, Command copy, Command paste. Wait a second, look what happened. That didn't work either. I bet you, look, they're all on layer 4. So that doesn't work, guys. Undo. We are not going to paste it that way. Undo. Undo. Let's just delete. That's easier. All right. You have to do it individually. So when you're doing your next title, you called your layer the title. Click copy paste. Over here. We have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. We are touching an image. We don't want to touch an image, not with a descriptor. So we need to move that. But let's keep working on our hierarchy. Let's get our heading, copy, paste on that layer. Go to layer 6, get this, copy, paste, bring that over. Don't worry about lining it up. You can do that when you're done. We want all the information. Get your price, copy, paste, bring it over. All right. There we will have everything lined up, and then you can begin to select and organize your next row of type based off your first. And that is a short, simple lesson in creating type hierarchy with an appropriate font for a project. Thank you very much, guys. Have fun with your project.